What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Love and Rice podcast with your favorite host, Aunt Ma.
Your hostess with the mostest, Christina Ma.
Guys, let us know in the comment who's your favorite host, and don't say Christina,
Stop.
please. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. On the last one, we spoke about me and Christina's love languages in our marriage, and now I want to talk about the love languages with our parents.
Oh my goodness.
Because Asian parents are
They're
like
another level.
they're like not even from this planet. All right. They have their own love languages, and I'm sure a lot of them are pretty similar, as well as your parents out there, guys. So do you know what your mom and dad's love languages are?
I have no idea, honestly.
I don't know either, but I can tell you what is not their love language.
Definitely not physical touch.
Not physical touch. Yes, my parents don't hug me or kiss me. We just kind of do like when I see them.
Yeah.
Even like going from Vegas to LA and I go to the house, it's just like, what's up? Head
Not
nod.
even hugs because
Nah.
even with your family, I always try to give them hugs and stuff too when I see them.
Nah.
I
it's
see
just-
I see your mom trying, or sometimes your dad will, and then they'll just be like, "Okay, bye." Drive
it's
safely.
weird, yeah.
But they try, you know.
Yeah. Words of affirmation is definitely not theirs.
No.
I've never heard my parents say, I love you. I don't think my mom ever says it to me. My dad never says it to me.
I just remember the last time you said "I love you" to your dad, right?
Okay, so here's the story. So my dad found out that he needed a heart procedure. It was very scary because he had like some valves that were clogged or something, some other things that weren't working. So it's like a quadruple bypass surgery for his heart.
Correct.
And a lot of complications can happen and things like that. And the reason why he had that issue is because he had COVID and his health got worse. So it was very scary.
He had pneumonia.
He also got, he had a lot of problems. And so the night before his big surgery, anything can happen. We had no idea, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, all right, Dad, you'll be okay. And then I text him. This is all text.
Yeah.
And I text him. I was like, I love you. I never text my dad that. I never say that. Okay. But I text my dad, I love you. And his response was, thank you.
Was it thank you or was it okay? It was
thank you. It was thank you. He didn't say I
Sounds
love you
about
back
right.
or anything. He just said thank you.
Well, I mean, if you haven't done this like your whole life, and that's probably like one of the first few rare times that you said it to him, it was probably just as weird for him.
But it wasn't like my words of affirmation is what I wanted from them. It was just like, I was like, okay, well, if he was to pass away, I would probably regret never saying I love you.
Yeah.
Type of thing, right?
Well, I mean, it's you as a kid wanting to say it to your parents to let them know, like, hey, I love you. Don't forget, you'll be okay. Right?
Right. And now
Yeah.
I just gotta thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. But just thinking about the love languages, I feel like my parents' love language could be acts of service.
It's acts of service because your mom just always wants to cook for you guys.
Yes.
Right. And then your dad cleans the house all the time for you guys.
Yeah. And they always, I think, to show them that we love them and that we actually care about their happiness and well-being, is a show, like doing stuff for them and getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is theirs?
Quality time, not so much. I feel like I didn't really spend
No.
that much time with my family.
Our family is also not quality time because I'll ask my mom, I'd be like, do you want to go to the movie? No.
Yeah.
I'll ask my mom, like, hey, let's go on vacation together. No. And I'm like, hey, let's go to China together with the kids. She's like, nope.
I think it just seems like your mom doesn't like to travel. Like she doesn't like going on an airplane or like long trips and stuff. That's what I've learned.
I don't know. We used to go a lot when we were kids.
But it's different
I
because
guess.
they were a lot younger too. Now
Yeah.
they're like older and more tired.
I don't know. And then, so then there's also, my dad is quality of time with me sometimes. It's weird. This is really weird with my dad. So he's also the one that's like, when you eat dinner, okay, let's go to a restaurant, right? And
yeah.
And we're all home
I know
together.
where you're going. Yep.
He'd be like, okay, I'll meet you at the restaurant.
Yeah.
We could take one car, but he'll get there when the food comes.
Yeah.
And then he'll leave before
when he's done eating.
When he's done and before everyone else is done. So to him, that's quality time, right?
Right. Yeah. Because I think to him, just showing up and being there, even for a little bit, is like showing that quality time.
But then for me, I'm like, but we're missing out on the connection while we drive there.
Right.
While we wait for our table, while we wait for the check. Those are all times where like you can talk and bond.
Yeah.
And we don't have any of those. So when he comes and just when the food comes and when he's done eating, it's just like he's just doing a duty.
Yeah. I remember in the beginning when he would do that, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then now I'm used to it.
But at the same time, he loves it when I go play basketball with him.
Mm-hmm. You guys used to go every week.
He actually likes it if we go to the movies together.
That's true. Even though he'll like fall asleep during half of the movie,
but he'd be like, okay.
There. Yeah.
Right? That's the first thing he does. He goes, okay.
Yeah.
I'll go.
So I feel like he just has a different way of showing it, if anything.
Right. So I think one thing that my parents, I think the only love language they have is giving gifts.
Oh, that's true.
Because my mom will buy the kids like
everything.
Yeah,
pretty
like
much
10
everything.
Christmas gifts. Right?
I know, we're like, hey.
Every time we go back to LA, the kids have gifts.
Like, oh, I went to the store and I just saw all these things for the kids, so I picked it up.
Yeah. They even like gifts through food.
Yeah.
So every time we come back home with grocery bags of like, here's some moon cakes, here's some fruit, stuff like that, right? And your parents do that too.
Yeah, they do
They're
that.
Like, here's like 5 dragon fruits from my yard.
Yeah, that's true. Like before we go, they'll go to the garden and pick all these things, and they'll have bags of like fruit for us to take back because they're like, I know the kids want to eat this, so let me just pack this for them. And then the last trip we went to, like my mom had this whole big bag of like frozen shrimp, right? Yeah. And then I was like, I don't have an ice chest, and she's like, okay, I have one for you, and it was small. And then she tried to fit the whole thing in there, but it was so big, and she's like, okay, let me just get this big butcher knife and chop it in half, and then try to squeeze it in there. And then she did all that just to be like, I know Leia likes to eat her shrimp heads, so you guys can cook it for them and let them eat it.
Yeah. It's they go over and beyond for those things.
Yeah.
You know, like even when we used to live in West Covina and my parents live, 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then my dad would be like, we'll be having dinner, or it'll be like 8:00 at night, and he's like, he'll text me, I'm dropping off food.
Oh my gosh. Right? Yeah.
And my dad will drive 30 minutes to drop off to-go food, and he drops off at the doorstep and doesn't even ring the doorbell, knock on the door, or come in. He just drops it off and he leaves.
Yeah, so I don't know. Was he doing that before COVID? Because I feel like during the pandemic, that's when he was really doing that for us, because we were so scared to go anywhere.
Well, I asked him, like, can you stop bringing food? Because there's a lot of this stuff we don't eat as well. And you just bring stuff over and like, I want to make the certain food that I have that I already like defrosted for the next days. And I'm like, just stop bringing. Like, why do you keep bringing it? And he's like, because I want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I appreciated it. Or whenever they would give us stuff to take home, you're like, no, I don't want it. I'm like, we can use it.
Some of the food they bring are leftovers that they have with friends. And
True.
I don't want that.
But I feel like, I think they've noticed though, because I think once you've said that to them, they're like, okay, we're just going to order stuff like after we're done eating and then just give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they've learned from that. But yeah, that your dad is very interesting.
Yeah. So giving gifts is definitely theirs.
Yeah. Which is actually pretty good, because my parents, they don't like to give gifts, or they don't really care to receive gifts at all. Like even for holidays, you say, okay, what are we going to do for Christmas? Should we go somewhere? What should we get your family for Christmas or birthdays and stuff? And I'm like, my family, we don't really celebrate birthdays too much. Or if anything, I was always the one giving gifts, but I wouldn't get anything back. Like whether it was for birthdays or whether it was for Christmas, like I would never get anything from anyone.
In the beginning of our marriage, you said that you guys don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's kind of weird. I don't think she means that. So we went out and bought a gift for everybody in your family for Christmas.
Yep.
And so we gave everybody gifts. We didn't get any gifts back.
Yeah, we got no gifts back.
Which I don't care for, but it's just like, it was weird.
It was weird to me.
What was weird?
Because that's how you guys celebrate it, right? And then you're like, oh, okay, well, let's just go and get stuff for everyone, because we've never done this our whole lives. And when I did that, and like we went like took the extra step of, all right, let's get one for every single person, and
I want to get one for your
and
brothers.
wrap it for everyone.
Like, because giving gifts is a personal touch. You think about it. What would this person like? What would they look good in this shirt? Or what would they appreciate? This is something that they need. They wouldn't buy it themselves, so I'll buy it for them. And so when you do that for like 6 family members, and then no one gets you a gift back, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it was weird for me, because that was the first time that we actually did something, and then I think they knew we were getting them stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're celebrating Christmas, and here's all your gifts, and then after it's like, oh, okay, this is weird because we never celebrated before.
But then your mom was giving gifts.
She was giving red envelopes.
Yeah, because that's how cash.
she was giving cash to
but
everyone.
It's like,
it was just different. So it was not like a weird, as in I didn't appreciate it, but it was just weird to me because I was like, this is so weird. Like, I'm doing something that I usually don't do by getting everyone gifts and then just like celebrating.
Well, now we don't get gifts for your family. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, we used to though. But when we were all living together in California, we would still celebrate. Like, we would all be cooking. Me and my mom would be doing all of the cooking in the kitchen, and we would prepare stuff like for the whole family. But ever since like everyone started moving out of state, like we just stopped celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even when we first started going out, I was making like, I would always make my famous green bean casserole until after a while I realized you guys were all lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
And couldn't handle it. Yeah. I would like pack on the cream of mushroom, the cheese. So there was one year where it was all like it was a bunch of cream cheese in there. I put so much in there, and I had no idea that you guys couldn't handle it.
No, even if we took like 4 lactate pills, it still wouldn't help.
Yeah, I've learned over time, and I just stopped making it.
So, what are some other love languages that you think your parents have?
I think that's it, honestly. Maybe words of affirmation. I feel like
I thought quality time was one of your dad's, because your dad likes to stay home all the time, and then he likes it when the kids come over. But then when I'm like, when I ask your dad like, hey, let's go somewhere.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
It's because he likes to be home. He's a homebody. So if we bring the kids over, he loves having them there, and he loves being home because he's comfortable. But if you're asking him to go out to eat at a restaurant, like, they just don't like going out to eat.
Your parents are definitely act of service, because they like to cook for the kids all the time. Or your mom likes to feed Leia all the time.
Always. Yeah. I mean, that's what grandparents do, right? So I think that's probably their main love language. And
so, in the previous episode, we were talking about how we can change our love languages to help each other and coach each other through it.
Right.
But how come we don't do that with our parents?
Because they're older. They're kind of set in their old ways, right? I feel
But what's the difference? I'm also set in my ways.
You're old too. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying though. Like, how come you don't care about your parents and that love language, but you care about mine and yours?
Because our relationship is a direct, you're my spouse, you're my significant other, we're in the same household. So we have to be on a different level. Like, you only get one significant other to have that relationship.
You only get one mom and dad.
But it's different. Like, when you're growing up with them, like, you're close to them, you have this like good relationship with them, and then when you get older, you kind of like branch off, and that's when you start your own family, and that's when you start connecting with your own family. So before, the priority was your direct family, your parents, your siblings, right? And then after that, that's when you move forward in your life and you start your own family, and then you try to have that dynamic within your family. So now our priority is us, and even our parents know that.
So the parents have it easier, is what I'm getting at. No, I'm just kidding.
They do, because they don't have to worry about us much anymore.
Guys, let us know if the same is with your immigrant parents, and if it's been hard for you guys to connect with them, or have you guys...
Or how do you connect with them?
Do you guys ever say I love you to your parents?
I do. I say it all the time. My parents do say it to me. They will say it, because I say it to them first, and I always give them hugs. I'm always very like affectionate and stuff with them.
No, anything I say to my parents, the response is...
Oh no, my parents won't do that. No, because we're all affectionate. Like, all of my siblings, we are actually. Yeah. The more that I think about it.
Like yesterday, last time I went to LA, and it was just for the night to sleep at my parents' house. Next day, I had to do real estate work and then go back to Vegas.
Yeah.
And so I saw my dad for like 3 minutes.
Oh my
and
gosh,
then
that's it.
I talked to him for a little bit, and at the end, I was like, okay, I gotta go to bed. I gotta to work tomorrow. He'd be like,
You know, I noticed that like whenever we do stay at your parents' house, though, I feel like your dad stays up to just be in the same room with you. So that's probably why you think that's quality time when we're just in the room watching a movie but not talking at all, because that's what your dad does with you.
I guess
He will stay there purposely, and I will notice it.
I don't think it's on purpose, because if I go in my room for like 5 hours, he'll still be out there till like 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I thought he was just doing it to be with you.
But let us know, guys, how your parents have been, and if it's been a struggle or you don't care,
or how you connect with them, you know?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, because we have two totally different love languages for our parents, but yet they come from the same place.
Yeah.
So anyways, on to the next episode. We'll see you guys there on the Love and Rice podcast.
Bye.